chicken nuggets. It's time for our bedtime story. One of your sweet mamas asked me to do it a little bit earlier since some people are better at getting their kids to bed on time than I am, apparently. So today Macy picked out our book that we're gonna read called The Princess and the Happiness. Speaking of the princess, I wanted to give a shout out to Claire, who sent me the sweetest letter today. Thank you, Claire. I miss you so much. I miss all of you so much. So The Princess and the Happiness is written by Ulf Stark and Silk Leffler. In a castle at the edge of the fairy tale forest lived a king with his queen and his little princess. The princess was called Clara because that was the most beautiful name the king and queen could think of. In the evenings, the king liked to sit in his garden enjoying the smell of flowers and listening to the birds sing. He would rock the princess on his foot. "Giddy up," he would say. "Woohoo," the princess would reply, and they would both laugh. But one day the king wasn't laughing. "Why aren't you laughing?" wondered the princess. "I don't know," said the king. The princess made her funniest face, but the king still didn't laugh, not even when the queen gave him cake as big as his crown. "You must not be feeling well," said the queen. She knew because the king just loved cake. I bet he would smile if he got a piece of Miss Allie's cakes. Doctors came from all over the kingdom. They shined flashlights in the king's mouth. Can you do that? Like they're shining a flashlight in your mouth? They listened to his heart. They looked in his ears. And they felt all around his big royal tummy. "We can't find anything wrong at all," they said. So they got paid and left. "Maybe you've just lost it," said the princess. "Lost what?" "Your happiness." You might be right," said the king. "In that case, I will find it for you," said the princess. How kind of her. Where could the king have lost his happiness? Maybe in the kitchen sink, she thought, because she sometimes heard the king and queen laughing when they washed dishes. But what was so funny about washing the dishes? Aha! Of course, all the bubbles. Clara mixed dishwashing detergent and water in a bottle and put it in her pocket. Then she made a loop from some wire. "Close your eyes," she said to the king, and she blew a bubble. It hovered beneath the ceiling. The castle mouse clapped his hands. "Look, Daddy," cried the princess, pointing. "Is this the happiness you've lost?" "No, that's just a bubble," sighed the king. The frog that Clara brought in didn't cheer him up either. "Well, I'm not going to stop looking," she said, and stamped her foot on the floor, making the locket around her neck jiggle a little. The next day, the princess sneaked out of the castle before the king and queen woke up. She had a basket of milk and bread with her, as well as a jar of honey in case she got a sore throat. She went to the fairy tale forest. The first one she met was a cat in a red coat. "Stop," he said, and held out his sword. "Who are you?" asked the princess. "I'm the guard, Puss in Boots. I keep watch over the fairy tale forest. Why do you want to go there?" "I'm looking for happiness," said Clara. "Could it be in there?" "Yes, it could," said the cat. "But there are also witches and trolls in there and dragons who breathe fire." "Well, if you're looking for happiness, you have to be brave," said the princess. So the cat raised his sword and let the princess pass. This sounds like it would be a great book for our March Madness theme, bravery. Clara sure is brave to go into that forest with all of those scary creatures. There was so much to see. A singing tree and a baby deer jumping around so happily that the princess shouted, "Hey, little deer, why are you so happy?" "Because it's so much fun to jump around," the baby deer replied. "My dad wouldn't think so," thought the princess. "His tummy's too big, and his legs are too thin. What makes one person happy doesn't always make another person happy." That is true, isn't it? Why don't don't you tell someone near you what makes you happy? You know what makes me happy? Your smiles and your laughs and snuggles with my Harper, who's being my videographer right now. Exactly, said a voice. Who's that? Said the princess. Who can hear my thoughts? I can, said a green character who had been hiding behind a bush. My name's Krulig. Can you hear everything people are thinking? Wondered Clara. Yes, he said. Right now, for example, you're thinking of giving me something to eat. That's right, said Clara. She took bread and milk out of her basket. Krulig helped himself and put one ear up to the princess's head. You're wondering where your dad's happiness could have gone, he said. Yes, she said. Do you know where it is? No, he said, but around here it's usually the witch who makes things disappear. We can go and see her if you want. I'm so glad I bumped into Krulig, thought the princess. He seems to be nice and he knows a lot too. I certainly do, Krulig laughed. But how will we find the witch? We'll ask the way, Krulig replied. So they asked a toadstool who said, on the other side of the anthill. They asked a squirrel who said, beyond the hazel tree with the golden nuts. And they asked a rabbit in checkered trousers. Oh my goodness. Well, there's one way to know that this book is fiction. Rabbits don't wear trousers. What? Are you going to see the witch? He asked. I wouldn't if I were you. She'll only turn you into stone with her look. Come and have a cup of tea with me instead. No, said Clara. You have to be brave in the fairy tale forest. After they had been walking almost the whole day, a wolf came up to them. Aha, a little girl, he said. I'm going to eat you up. No, you're not, said Krulig. You're just trying to frighten us. True, muttered the wolf. I have to have some fun when there's no full moon to howl out. Do you know where the witch lives? Asked Clara. Yes, said the wolf, but I'm not telling you. Not even if I give you your own moon? Oh, well, that's different, said the wolf. Clara took out her bottle of dishwashing detergent. She poured in a little milk and blew a bubble which shimmered white, just like the real moon. Oh, that's lovely, said the wolf. Yes, said Clara. Now please tell me where the witch lives. On the deserted island, said the wolf, and began joyfully howling at his new moon. Next week, you'll get to experiment with some soap, too, with one of your e-learning assignments. You won't get to make a moon for a wolf, but you will get to do some experiments with soap. When they came to the lake where the witch's island was, they were very tired, even though they'd ridden the last bit on a friendly unicorn. How will we get across the water without a boat? Sighed Clara. Around here, things happen when you least expect them, said Krulig. And he was right, because just then a dragon came and sat down by the water's edge. Are you going to breathe fire on us? Wondered Clara. No, croaked the dragon. I have a sore throat. Maybe he should go see Nurse Sherry for a cough drop. I've just come from the witch's house. I asked her if she could help me, but she just laughed. Try this, said Clara, holding out the jar of honey. Oh, I do remember she brought honey. Do you remember what else she brought in her bag? There were 3 items. Honey, milk, and bread. When the dragon had finished all the honey, it felt a lot better. Wonderful, it said. Is there something I can help you with? Yes, said Clara. Please fly us over to the witch's island tomorrow when it gets light. I'm too tired to go this evening. Also, it would be great if you could make us a fire for tonight, said Krulig. And so they lay down by the fire. Clara opened her locket. On one side was a mirror, and on the other, a picture of the king and queen. Oh, Daddy. Oh, Mommy, she thought. Can you make an inference about how she feels? She didn't tell us, but she said, "Oh, Daddy, oh, Mommy." My inference is she's really missing her parents. Far away, the king was sobbing away, thinking about his daughter. As soon as they realized Clara was nowhere to be found, he'd gone into the forest to look for her. I do hope she hasn't come across any wolves or dragons, he thought. Or worst of all, a witch. The next morning, the dragon took Clara and Krullig over to the witch's island on his back. It landed behind a big black stone by the witch's house. They could hear her laughing inside. Mwah, ah, 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 ah. Harper Calloway told me I sounded like Ursula when I did that during a lesson last week. Hi, Harper. It sounded just like the king's laugh. "Thanks for the lift," said Clara. "Now we're going to take back my dad's happiness." "I'm afraid you'll both soon be turned into stone," said the dragon. "Watch out when she knits her eyebrows." Do you know what knitting your eyebrows is? It's when you go like that. When you're looking really grumpy. See if you can knit your eyebrows like this. "We will," said Krullig. "Oh, so there you are," laughed the witch when she saw Clara, "and you have a green friend with you. Do you know why I'm so happy? Because you've stolen my dad's happiness." "Yes, that too, but mostly because I've managed to get you here. I've always wanted a real princess for my stone collection." "You leave her alone," said Krullig. "I most certainly will not," said the witch, and she was just about to knit her eyebrows. Knit your eyebrows. When Clara opened her locket and held the mirror up in front of the witch. "Turn to stone," hissed the witch. She realized too late that she'd put the curse on herself. Her face went all gray, and then all of a sudden, she was one big stone. There's a turn of events, isn't it? The princess felt the witch's long, cold, hard nose. "I feel a bit sorry for her," she said. "Why?" said Krullig. "She was mean and nasty." No one is just mean and nasty. Everyone probably has some kindness in them that wants to get out. As soon as Clara said that, there was a creaking sound and the stone broke in two. And out of it stepped an old lady in a red dress, just like a chick coming out of its egg. "You're right about that," said the old lady with a smile. "Thank you for setting me free. It wasn't very nice being locked up inside that witch's body." "But what will happen to my daddy's happiness now?" wondered Clara. "He'll get it back," said the old lady. I have a prediction. Do you have a prediction? You think of yours while I'm thinking of mine. I have a prediction about his happiness. The old lady rummaged around in a box full of clothes. Eventually, she found what she was looking for, a pair of slippers. She whispered into them. Do you whisper into your slippers? I don't whisper into mine either. Let's see why. "Here you are," she said, and gave them to Clara. They were certainly very nice, with stars and a moon on them, but even so, how could the king possibly be happy about a pair of slippers? "They're 20-mile slippers," said the old lady. "They know where they're going. Hold your friend's hand. This is going to be very, very fast." No sooner had Clara put the slippers on than off they went. Small steps at first, and then with bigger steps, right up to the sky. They could see the old lady waving down below. They saw animals that the witch had turned to stone come back to life. They saw a pancake rolling along being chased by a pig. That's very silly, isn't it? And 3 billy goats running over a bridge. Then the slippers started slowing down. "We're nearly there, I think," said Krullig, and they were. The king was sitting on a tree stump, crying into his hands. "Where can my little girl be?" he sobbed. "Here I am," cried the princess, and she ran straight into the king's arms. "Sorry," she said, "but I couldn't find your happiness." "But you did. You are my happiness. I realized that as soon as you went away." "Oh, I'm so very happy you're back." "And I'm happy too," said the princess. "I'm happy that you're happy, and that I found Krullig, my best friend. My prediction was right. Was yours? And all three of them laughed happily together until it was time to go back to the castle and eat cake. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story of the princess and the happiness. If you have any requests, I have lots of books at my house, and I may not have exactly what you want me to read, but I may be able to find something close. So if you have any requests, just tell your parents to let me know, okay? I hope you guys are doing well. I miss you lots.